Welcome to this week's lesson on character analysis. In this lesson, we will learn how to use the STEAL acronym to help us get a better grip on how an author uses characterization to impact the plot and theme of a story. Let's get started. Our first letter for this week is S, and it stands for speech. The way that someone talks can say a lot about that person. Think about your character and the kinds of things they say. Do they use words that show that they care about people or things? Do they sound grouchy? Do they yell? Write down a few examples to use as support. Once you have that, think about the story. How does the character's speech impact the story? Our second letter is T for thoughts. What kind of thoughts does your character have? Do they worry about things? Do they have thoughts that are critical of others? How do their thoughts impact the story? Make sure you write down some examples. Just a note, not all stories are written in a point of view that include thoughts. If that is the case, don't stress. Just note it for this letter. The letter E is for effects, specifically effects on others. For this letter, you want to think about what kind of effect your character has on the other characters in the story. Do they react warmly to the character? Are other characters afraid of him or her? Maybe the character annoys others. Think of Donkey and Shrek. How does the character's effect on others impact the story? Don't forget to write down examples. Our next letter is the letter A for actions. For this letter, you want to think about what the character does or how he behaves. Is he or she sneaky? Does your character do nice things for other people? Do they push people around? Do they run away from a problem? How does this character's action impact the story? The last letter for this week is L for looks. What does the author tell you about the character's physical appearance? Sometimes looks aren't discussed much, but sometimes they can have a big impact on a story. Like if the main character is a very tiny kid afraid of being beat up by a big bully.